And now, in studio, he's an award winner and at the top 1% of mortgage banking experts nationwide. Seen on the American Dream TV show Saturday mornings and heard all over the radio airwaves giving his opinion of the marketplace. Your host, Jonathan J.J. Jarosz.
Good evening, good evening. Filling in for my good friend JJ is Mr. Jason Hall, Team Home Loans branch manager, a branch of Synergy One Lending. And also joining me in studio, a also great friend and a great mortgage originator like JJ and I, Travis Sailing. Congratulations, Travis, for being the top dog at Team Home Loans.
Oh, man, thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you. Yeah. So, getting ready to go into the new year. And I know we want to talk a few things. We won't get into it right away, but some of the stuff we're going to talk about on the show. Travis is on the left, Mr., being raised in the Bay Area, Northern California by some hippies. I haven't met your parents, but I imagine that's what they look like, or at least back in the 70s, right? And Mr. Hall, a Christian, right-wing conservative, born and raised here in San Diego, fits our listening crowd here in 1170 AM. And so, yes, we are mortgage originators. Yes, we're filling in for JJ tonight. But we like to have some fun. It is the new year coming soon. We kind of want to recap. We like to talk sports. We like to talk politics, especially with my left wing Trav. And now that he's becoming a top originator here in San Diego, we're going to see how much you still want to be left wing. But we'll talk about that later. I know you're like gung ho. You're going to say
I am so ready for that.
You're so ready. So we'll talk some taxes. We're going to talk some Trump because that was a big thing that happened here in 2016.
Yep.
We talked about this a little bit in last night's show. For those that don't know, I also co-host the Whistle Wednesday show with Kyle Whistle. Kyle was out of town, had a couple of loan officers, Clay and Ricardo, with me, and we were talking about my Chargers.
Oh,
now,
boy.
Here we are, December, is it 29th tonight?
Yes.
And what am I wearing right now, Trav?
The standard Charger polo, repping the Chargers every day.
Paul, I had Aztecs on last night. I always wear my Chargers, right?
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, even after we lost to Cleveland. And people were talking about, we were talking about this a month ago because Kyle loves to tease me.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
It's exactly what the Carter hit on me yesterday, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I still love the San Diego Chargers. So one of the things that we've been talking about, I want to make sure we get out in JJ's show, is, again, San Diego native myself, Jason Hall, love the Chargers. I've named my son, believe it or not, my son is named JJ, not after Jonathan Jarosz, whose show we're on. And I talk about it every time I do a show, but after John Jefferson, always wanted to nickname my son JJ because I grew up as a Charger fan in the 70s. JJ was one of our great receivers for a few years. My stepfather nicknamed me JJ when I was playing Pop Warner football. So I always wanted my son to be JJ. Met my beautiful wife, Manda. She wanted her son to be named Joseph after her dad. I said, great. So our son's Joseph Jeremiah, but you probably don't even know that, Travis. You only know him as JJ. Everyone only knows him as JJ.
Right.
But that's what type of homer I am when it comes to Chargers. Name my son after him. Now, we drove here in the studio from our office in a blue Volt that we've nicknamed the Bolt. It's Charger blue, and it has a huge Charger sticker the kids put on the back.
It's really embarrassing to drive in, is what he's trying to say.
Have you seen it yet?
I have, yes.
You did see it. You went to like Dave & Buster's or something. Yep. You hang out with us, right? When one of the football games. So Paul's seen it, our producer. So I'm a huge Charger homer. Now, it gets better, all right? My house is blue, and my door is gold. Okay?
Ugh.
Crazy. Now, you work at Team Home Loans.
Yes.
So tell all of us, what are all the colors? If you Google Team Home Loans right now, what are you going to find?
You're just going to find Charger blue and some yellow, gold. The walls inside are blue. I mean, the guy's blue and gold through and through. There's no doubt.
And where are we located at?
We're located on Murphy Canyon, right next to the Chargers headquarters.
Right next to Chargers headquarters.
Temporarily.
It's temporary. Well, we'll see.
Too soon.
But I just want everybody to understand I am a huge Charger fanatic, huge Charger homer. But here's what I'll tell everybody. We, as the San Diego Fanatics, we just care about San Diego Chargers. I've seen 4 ownership teams come through. I've personally probably seen only 2 in my life, but we've had 4 since 1960. I have seen, I don't know, probably 15 to 30 coaches.
At least
somewhere in that range, right? I mean, we're not Pittsburgh. What's Pittsburgh got, like 4 coaches?
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, right? Like, that's a true franchise. See, that's where I want to get to. So I've seen 4 owners. I've seen multiple coaches. I've seen multiple quarterbacks, some great, like Dan Fouts. Phillip Rivers, I never thought would be considered great, but he's right now in there. A lot of people put him possible Hall of Fame, but he hasn't won a ring. It's right there. Even you're like,
I'd put him in there.
It's going to be tight, right? Like there's so many great quarterbacks right now in this era. I think it's going to be tight if he doesn't win one. Although I hope he gets in, but he has impressed me. He throws a horrible ball. It looks so awkward. You just wouldn't ever. I coach football. I would never teach a kid to throw the way he throws, but it works, right? And what I have learned in my life is if it works, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Right? Like this kid at UCLA, this ball kid who's a freshman, unbelievable. He has the most awkward shot. Look it up, Ball. Well, it's hard to probably look up Ball UCLA, but what's his first name? Find that for Lorenzo Ball, right?
Yeah.
Lorenzo Ball, UCLA. They lost last night in the last second shot to Oregon.
Ooh.
You know, that was crazy.
That was a good game.
It was a good game. I want to ask you about that because I only got the parts of it, Paul. But he has a horrible, awkward shot, but he's hitting 50% from 3. So it's like Phillip Rivers throwing the ball. Hey, if it works, you're not going to, who am I going to coach and change his shot, right? The kid's dropping dimes like it's going out of style. So with the Chargers, all we care about is the San Diego Chargers. We don't care who owns them. We don't care who coaches them. I mean, we kind of do, but they come and go, so we really don't care, right? So I have now finally, and Kyle's going to be surprised, but we've been talking about this. I'm okay. Let the Spanos go. But what I've been saying for 2.5 years, and Paul has heard me say this, we want to keep the Charger name here. Now, the good news, and we've been saying the best thing for the Spanos is a rebrand. Now, they have somehow leaked it out, and ESPN and CBS and Fox Sports, all the sports channels are starting to say it's a possibility that the Chargers may rebrand if they go to LA, and they might be, I've been teasing the LA transplants, but what's funny about that is 90% of LA, maybe 95% of LA are all transplants. So it might be the perfect name to associate with a new team up there. But whatever they might be, it would be probably best for the Spanos family if they do decide to move, have a different name. You know what? For me, it will take us a few years to get a stadium. It will take us, because we do have some, unique political issues here. We're going to talk about that because, again, you're on the left, I'm on the right. So we'll talk about that later in the show. But in 2 to 4 years, I think with the right NFL ownership team, we'll get them in here. We'll get a stadium built, probably in Mission Valley. And we'll just rebrand them the San Diego Chargers. For example, Jacksonville Jaguar ownership. He's one of the top 3 richest owners in the NFL. I think the Spanoses are like 29 or 30. Paul, somewhere in there. I don't know if you can find that list. But they're not, they're rich for average people, but in the NFL, they're dirt cheap. Right? Where the Jacksonville guy's like a prince of Arabia or something. I don't know. The guy's worth billions of dollars. And he don't care if he loses. And, I wish I could have a hotline, have him call in, hey, he said he would take San Diego, he'll take San Diego Charger name. He wants to be in this market so bad. He's like, I'd be there tomorrow, right? And the Spanos has been here 30-something years, and they're whining and crying. Let them go. So I'm okay, Travis, finally, to let the Spanos go, because I feel if we can keep the name, and if they don't rebrand, I'm then going to get involved, sue them, join together with a bunch of the fans. We'll sue the NFL. We'll sue the Spanos. This happened in 1995 in Cleveland.
Right.
They sued Art Modell. They sued the NFL. They won, and that's the reason the Cleveland Browns still have the Cleveland Browns. And most people your age don't realize the Baltimore Ravens are the original Cleveland Browns franchise that Art Modell moved to Baltimore. Also, people don't realize when I was a kid, I watched the Baltimore Colts, who's now the Indianapolis Colts.
Right.
So the Colts didn't get to keep their name in Baltimore, but they were pretty happy because
the
Ravens,
Utah Jazz moved to, they were originally in New Orleans.
Okay.
Jazz.
And they moved to Utah where they don't allow music. Where they don't allow music.
Yeah.
Well,
and there you go.
Hey, how about this? How many lakes do you see in L.A.?
Yeah.
Do you know where Los Angeles Lakers came from?
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. Yeah. There's my oracle. So you're right. So there's things that happen. So I, as a huge Charger fanatic, we covered all the things that I just talked about that I'm huge. I'm okay with letting him go. What's your thought on that, Mr. Travis?
I personally voted against the stadium. I wasn't happy with the measures they had, so I'm fine with it. Personally, my Niners aren't going anywhere. They just have a brand new stadium up there.
Another transplant, Paul. See, we got
so that's fine. For me, it's water under the bridge. If you can come up with a program,
go Chargers, go. I think was it 23 or something, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I'll take a look for it, but it's it doesn't bother me one way or the other. I mean, the only thing for me is that the Niners, it's going to be, I can't watch Niner Charger games, but they don't they don't really play that often anyways. So usually it's like preseason game.
1995 Super Bowl.
Yeah, we all remember that, right, guys?
My buddy Darren
Right, guys?
Carrington.
I don't.
Right, guys?
Yeah. You guys, let's see. You were
That was on my birthday.
I was almost 10.
So you
No,
were
I was
10,
almost 11.
and so you were about the same age.
I was 11, and it happened
you guys same
on
age.
my birthday. And my birthday wish is I blew out the candles. I asked for my cake early so I could blow out the wish, and my wish was for the Niners to win, and then they did.
They smoked us. It wasn't
Dude,
close. It was one of the biggest
brutal.
blowouts of all time. It was like, 19-point spread.
Yeah.
We were
I
down
remember they scored
21-0 in the
49
first quarter.
points. Yeah. And I think they kind of like let off the gas so they could
they had
score
to.
49 and be the 49ers. But it was a smoke show.
It was a smoke show. I know this. I was 25 years old. I remember exactly where I was watching the game. I had both my kids with me. They were like, 2 and 3 years old.
Why is
3 or 4
Daddy
years old.
crying?
Yeah. And, it was every year. So my stepfather in 1975, he married my mother. And when he came out to date my mom from Washington down here to San Diego, he brought with him a 49ers jacket. So to a 5-year-old boy, who's, this guy's courting my mom, it was the smartest thing. He brought me this 49er jacket. So most of my life, I've always been a Charger fan, 1, a Niner fan, 2. And so every year when people go, who do you want to be in the Super Bowl? And we'll talk about that coming up here right after the break.
Boy.
They go, who do you want to be in the Super Bowl? Every year I said Chargers, Niners, Chargers, Niners. Finally, 1990, the season of 94, January 95, I finally got my wish, and I got smoked. And then I met a good friend of mine, Darren Carrington, who played on the Chargers. He's a pastor here at the Rock. Great guy. And so it's interesting stuff. But we're going to wrap and go to a break. You're listening to the JJ Show. If you want to ask JJ any questions, any mortgage questions, hit us up, askjjnow.com. We'll be right back.
AM 1170, The Answer.
Hey, Craig Sewing here, consumer activist. You hear me every day at 6 p.m. on KCBQ. My goal is to help you win in any marketplace. One of the things that applies to every single person that listens to our show and that's listening right now, you have a credit score, and more likely than not, it has inaccuracies on it. Nobody seems to understand how these things work. Here's what I can tell you. I have a credit expert that's a partner in the show named Aran Sinai. I call him the credit magician. If you've ever had any issues with your credit, you want to get your scores up, maybe a foreclosure, bankruptcy, or maybe just a collection. The city of San Diego can send parking tickets to collections. Crazy. Well, bad credit's a choice. Reach out to Aran Sinai. How do you do that? You go to our website, AmericanDreamElite.com. AmericanDreamElite.com. Hit me up on the contact form. I'll connect you with Aran. AmericanDreamElite.com. If you've ever had any credit issues whatsoever, AmericanDreamElite.com.
Hey, San Diego, did you know that consumers actually have the choice on who they use for title insurance on their real estate transactions? Most people don't even realize this. Well, you most certainly do. And your choice should be Title 365. Title 365 is one of the most well-known names in title and should be your choice for title insurance on your real estate purchase. You're in great hands with Title 365. Local representatives are available to provide you with the guidance you need. Visit kcbq.com and ask to be connected.
Hey, do you believe in global warming? This seems to be a hot topic these days, no pun intended. Question is this: is it real? Is it man-manufactured? Is it just the earth being old? Or is it just a political play? You know what? I don't know and I don't care. Craig Sewing here, and I'm here to tell you this. Whether global warming exists or not, it always makes sense to try and protect our planet, regardless of global warming and the political argument. It always makes sense to save money. So, why not explore the opportunity financially that exists with solar energy? If you put in solar energy into your home, you can save a ton of money that you're wasting on your electric and gas bill. Why not go solar? It saves you money. And look, it's good for the planet. Whether you believe in global warming or not, doesn't really matter. Anything we can do that's good for the planet that can save you money, 2 thumbs up for me. The problem is there's a lot of shady companies out there. So I want to recommend just one, the only company that I endorse for solar. It's Baker Electric Solar. They've been in business for almost a century. I know these guys really well. They're good friends of mine. Visit them online, BakerElectricSolar.com. That's BakerElectricSolar.com. You can go there from your smartphone. Today is the day. Let's save some money. Let's get those solar panels. They'll do a complimentary review. BakerElectricSolar.com.
AM 1170, The Answer.
All right, welcome back. Again, this is Jason Hall with Team Home Loans, a branch of Synergy One Lending. I am the branch manager and owner of Team Home Loans. In studio, our top loan officer, Team Home Loans, Travis Saline. How you doing, Travis?
Great, man. Thanks for having me again.
So we just were talking about my Chargers. We were talking about letting them go.
Go Chargers, go!
We don't want the Chargers
LA.
to go. We want the Spanoses to go. So I walked out of last year's game, the last game of the season. Let the Spanoses go, sue to keep the name. Let the Spanoses go, sue to keep the Charger name. And I was just ranting that like for 20 minutes. My nephews were like, Uncle Jason, be quiet. People, you're embarrassing us. They're like 10 and 12. I don't care, right? Like, you know me, Trav and Paul. So that's exactly where I'm at now. I still wear my Charger stuff because this represents the Charger community. It doesn't represent the ownership.
So if they do take the name and they do go to LA and next year rolls around, are you going to be going up
like
there?
I said, I'm first going to get involved in Sue. And you and Coach are going to be mad because I'll probably pull money out of the branch and the Larsons as soon as you want. Because I'm going to be like, what do we got to do? We're going to keep this name. I will give thousands of dollars to freaking fight that cause. Thousands of dollars to fight that cause.
$1 million.
I wish I had $1 million to fight that cause. But I will get involved. My time, my energy on the radio for any show, the TV show with the American Dream, which is now on every day. I know JJ's introduction just talks about Saturday, but Craig Sewing has grown American Dream to multiple shows now, and they're on every single day. So that's a great show that we also do and help Craig Sewing on. But I will do everything I can as a San Diego native, as a Charger homer, to keep that Charger name here if they try to take the Chargers with them. Again, there is leakage that they are talking about rebranding. I think it's the best thing for the Spanoses if they really decide to go. They should be a new name. They're not going to get accepted up there. The LA Chargers, the Southern California Chargers, the California Chargers, none of that's going to get accepted, I don't believe. But if I was them, rebrand. If for some reason I don't think rebrand, probably California Chargers probably sounds the best. You all remember the California Angels. You know, that's what they went by for years. So those are different ideas.
What about college football? Are you guys interested in any college football games coming up here this weekend?
Yeah, Orange Bowl tomorrow. Michigan against Florida State. It's going to be a really good game. 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
And then Saturday's the big dogs: Alabama, Washington, Clemson, and Ohio State. It's going to be really
what time are those games?
Alabama's at noon, and then the other game, the Ohio State Clemson, will be after that.
Okay, so it's not too late.
No,
right, and it doesn't interfere with most people's plans. But yeah, we do have our New Year's Day party, so it won't be on New Year's Day. So what games are on New Year's Day this year? They have the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day, or is it not even on Rose Bowl?
They'll move it to Monday. They never play the Rose Bowl on a Sunday. I believe the Fiesta Bowl and the Sugar Bowl are on New Year's Day.
So there's only so that's funny because it's a Sunday. NFL owns everything, right? It's so funny.
You don't want to compete against that.
You don't want to compete against the big guy, right? I mean, we do close down the bowling alley on New Year's Day. I know, Paul, we're hoping you can make it. We have a blast for our bowling party. We bring everybody out on New Year's Day. Kearney Mesa Bowl. We have just a ton of fun with Team Home Loans or Branch Energy One Lending. We're counterparts with JJ here on Ask JJ Now if you want to hit JJ up. But we have a ton of fun, and we just turn on all the TVs. The good news is there probably won't be much football games because we don't start till 5, and all the NFL games will be over. There's no Sunday night game. I looked that up. So the Chargers probably be the last game of the last regular season. There's no Monday night either.
Nope.
So this is it. The Chargers start at 1:25. Most everybody else starts at 1. In the afternoon games, I looked it up. It's weird. I don't know if they're setting this up for us to be the final game. But I gave my tickets to Clay, and he's taking. I know you're looking at me shocked, but it's because of our party. It's so hard. Like I have to be there by 4:30, and the game starts at 1:25. And you guys see my seats. We got great seats. We sat right there.
Oh, yeah.
We were like all in tears. It seemed like last year. I wasn't quite in tears. Like I said, I went out screaming, but let the Spanoses go so to keep the Charger name. But I just was like, hey, I can't do everything on the first. The Aztecs also play at 2 o'clock on New Year's Day.
Are you going to that?
So I'm going to that because I can bail that early because, there's a chance we could be up 10, 20.
New Mexico's going to be tough, though.
Yeah, but we could.
You could,
right?
absolutely.
We could. We could be down 10 or 22, so don't get me wrong on that with the Aztecs. My Aztecs go up and down. I know you're an Aztec alum there where you met your beautiful wife, right?
Correct. Both alum.
All right. And you guys just had your first child this year?
We did.
We'll have to recap that later in the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go to the Aztec game. I'll make sure I'm leaving no later than 4 so I can get to my party by 4:15. I'll beat the rush if I need to. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to miss possibly the last Charger game, but it's odd that it's the last game. Most likely when it finishes, there'll be no other game still going on.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Paul?
That's kind of interesting because when the other games finish, they kind of finish out their coverage, switching over to another game. So a lot of the country's going to be watching what could be the last couple of plays in Chargers history.
Yeah. Now,
probably a blowout. Probably just, victory formation. Who are they playing?
That's a good question.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But how do you really feel, Travis?
Well, it'll be fun to be there, and you guys.
So I'm guessing you're picking Kansas City in our. I'm
gonna go out on a limb here and go with Kansas City for the win on that one. But you never know. Maybe they're going to shock and come out with some emotion and be like, "Hey, this is the last one."
I think win or lose, Kansas City's going to get the same probably seed.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think it even makes a difference.
They might be resting starters.
They may know if they don't know yet, they'll probably know at tip off whether or not their game makes a difference. They'll probably rest their starters like they did 3 years ago when we had got lucky. They were kicking the winning field goal. The guy missed the field goal for the Kansas City Chiefs 3 years ago.
Ryan Suckup.
Right. And we literally drove down and won the game, and that put us in the playoffs where we were able to beat Cincinnati. And that's Cincinnati hasn't won a home game or they haven't won a playoff game under their current coaching staff. We go in there as the underdog. We beat them. And, of course, then we get smoked by Denver the following week. But that's the only thing Mike McCoy's done for me. I'm very disappointed in Mike McCoy. We can go on for Chargers forever, but we do want to talk a little bit of real estate, a little bit of mortgages, a little bit of recap of 2016, what we think is going to happen in 2017. So, just to bring you up to date, a lot of people listening right now don't realize what has happened to interest rates, Trav, right?
Right.
I mean, so interest rates have increased. Now, most all the experts said, hey, if in the possible 1% chance that Trump upsets Hillary, we're going to see a stock market crash. We're going to see rates go down because that's not going to be a good thing because of all the stuff he said he's going to do. They didn't believe was going to lead to positive things in the economy. And during the election night, we saw an 800-point downturn when it looked like, hey, he's going to win. And so that little prediction was right for a few hours. What has happened since that, Trav?
Yeah, man, it's been rough. Stock market has all of that was gone by the time by the open it was all erased because the market doesn't like uncertainty. These guys are pulling their money. We're talking billionaire hedge fund people pulling money out, so it's moving. It's not you and me. It's not like
you don't have a billionaire like Paul?
The little guy. Yeah, well, we all can't be Paul over here, just rolling in dough. But it was all erased, and basically what the market woke up to was, hey, like this is going to be more fiscally conservative. This guy's going to kind of turn off the tap with stimulus and propping up the banks and printing money. He's going to so they think the inflation is going to come around. And so if you look at bank stocks, for example, they're way up since the election.
Well, let me ask you if you know this. Since the election night. Okay, since 1900, it's 29 president-elects. This president-elect Trump run on the stock market is the greatest of the 29. There's been a larger increase in the stock market, and I know you're going to try to jump on Obama bandwagon here.
No,
but I'm just letting you know because we talked about the stock market.
But there's also more money, like the actual printed money. They've been printing billions and billions
is there so much more printed money,
and billions
Mr.
of dollars.
Why is there so much more printed money?
To save the economy that you guys are all enjoying right now. Remember that? You remember it was going into the toilet after the last Republican president that just left it in the toilet and it took years to get out. And now, what did you say? It's at the all-time high and rates are at the all-time low.
But it's the largest increase in percentage. Now, here's the other downside for people who are waiting to refi. Okay, we never know what rates are going to be in the future, but rates went from say 3.5 to almost 4.5 in that 6 weeks. So I've seen all like a 0.75% to 1% increase in the past 6 weeks, and I've seen that over my 25-year history. What I haven't seen is a 30% increase because when you take 3.5 to 4.5, that is a 30% increase in rate.
It's been astronomical how fast it has gone up in such a short period of time. I gotta believe that it's over, and maybe we'll talk about this after the break as far as predictions for next year. But it's pretty high from where we were and what that's going to happen. How that's going to impact real estate and rates and everything going forward into the next year. We can kind of tap on that.
Yeah, well, let's talk about this a little bit here. A lot of people don't realize that mortgage-backed securities, since the mid-'90s, are now traded on the Chicago Board of Trade. Okay, so they are mortgage-backed securities. You can actually trade mortgage-backed securities just like they trade bonds, treasury bills, like they trade stock on the New York Stock Exchange. A lot of people don't realize that. So they call thinking they're going to get a different rate. Now, where the rate comes in different is 95% of the people sell at the same place. It's how they get it to market, right? How do they package the loan? How do they get that rate? Because at the end of the day, they're all going to sell it. If they sell on the same day at the same time, they're all going to get the same price.
Right. Just like a stock.
Just like a stock. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. So I always like to share that a little bit. But what we've seen is we've seen all this cash on the side, and maybe it was the billions that the government printed for all the rich people. I don't know.
Well,
but all that money's now dived into the stock market.
Absolutely.
And they pulled it out of the mortgage and bond market, and that's why we've seen these increase in rates.
Well, of course. I mean, the mortgage and bonds are safe. They're very low paying, but there's never been a safer bet, to park your money. That's what I say. You're going to park your money somewhere, put it there, you're going to get a tiny return, but nothing's going to happen to it. And if you're a hedge fund manager, you're actually not there to, create wealth. Your real job is to, not lose money. That's the real job of a hedge fund manager, is to prevent loss of capital. And so they park money there while the, storm clouds are brewing. And then when the sun comes out after the election, they can say, oh, now we have an idea of what's going to be happening for the next 4 years. They take that uncertainty out. Now they can place their bets, if you will, and buy whatever and bring that money out of the bonds with a low, return and put it into the stock market that's generating humongous returns, for their investors. And that's what we see. So, anytime there's like doom and gloom, as I like to say, any kind of like political, geopolitical problems, you usually see the rates go down because they take money out of the stocks, put it into bonds. And then when that's kind of the crisis is over, then they take the money out of bonds, back into stocks, and then you see the rates go up.
All right, so rates are, say, low fours, 4.25-ish, right in that range. Right. Are you shocked? Because a lot of millennials are like, oh my God, it's 4.25. Like they think we're robbing them at 4.25. I mean, to me, who's been in this business 25 years, it's still an all-time low rate.
Right.
And then when you listen to the radio and all the other mortgage people, oh, rates are still all-time low. Use your cash, use your bank, or use your house as a bank. Pull cash out, pay off credit card, because they're trying to find a way.
I'm not seeing, I talk to a lot of people, obviously, and a lot of them are first-time millennial buyers. I'm not seeing a lot of pushback on like, well, I'm not going to buy my first dream house.
At what rate will you think there'll be? There's going to be a pushback at some rate. 5%.
I think psychologically 5. So
I agree with that.
If you can still get something in the 4s, because you just want to be like your neighbor, right? The Johnson's got, something in the 4s. And it's so funny. Like I talked to somebody 6 months later, maybe even only 3 months later. I'm like, well, what rate did you end up with? And he goes, I don't know, something in the 4s.
Nice.
Like for us, like, we study, we see it every day. Like we know, exactly what rate it's going to be. But a lot of times they're so busy with their real life and everything that they just make a monthly payment, a dollar amount, and they don't even.
Well, we're going to cut to a break, but we're going to talk about mortgage rates coming right up. I also have a special guest on the phone. We're going to talk to him in a few moments. Again, you're listening to the JJ Show. This is Jason Hall, a branch manager, Team Home Loans, or Branch Synergy One Lending. We'll talk to you soon.
AM 1170. The Answer.
Hey, San Diego, Craig Sewing here. Look, one of the things that nobody likes to hear is that they got bugs in their home. Almost all California homes have some sort of bug or termite problem. It's not a cool thing to have bugs running around your house, so I'm going to help you get rid of them. I want you to connect with Lloyd's Pest Control. These are our good friends of the Craig Sewing Show. They can help you. They've been in business, putting bugs out of business since 1931. They'll do a free inspection for you. If you want to get your biggest investment checked out, make sure there's not bugs or termites, go to LloydPest.com. That's LloydPest.com and get a free inspection of your real estate today. Hey, Craig Sewing here, host of the Craig Sewing Show and The American Dream every morning, Channel 4, 10:30 a.m. One of the things we do on the show is we give a lot of financial advice. Something you'll hear me say all the time is you can't figure out where you're going to go if you don't know where you are today. That's why we give out a free financial kit to any of our listeners or viewers who want to know, hey, this is where I am. This is how much money I have. This is my trajectory for retirement. You need to know what your retirement age is going to be, how much money is going to get distributed to you. I don't care if you're 30 years old, 60, or 90. These are numbers that actually can be spelled out for you based upon your current allocation. It doesn't take any more money. Just get an analysis. This is what we do. The free financial kit will do this for you. We've given them out to thousands of people and never once had a complaint, and we'd love to give you one as well. If you haven't got your free financial kit, it's really simple. You just got to visit me online and ask for it. CraigSewing.com. That's Craig with a C, sewing like a sewing machine. CraigSewing.com. On the contact form, message me. Ask for the free financial kit. It is as a gift to you as a listener to our show. Free financial kit, craigsewing.com. Make sure you hit that contact form, no strings attached, and we'll get it to you within 24 hours. craigsewing.com.
Hey, San Diego, did you know that consumers actually have the choice on who they use for title insurance on their real estate transactions? Most people don't even realize this. Well, you most certainly do. And your choice should be Title 365. Title 365 is one of the most well-known names in title and should be your choice for title insurance on your real estate purchase. You're in great hands with Title 365. Local representatives are available to provide you with the guidance you need. Visit kcbq.com and ask to be connected.
AM 1170, The Answer.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Again, filling in for JJ tonight is a good friend of his, a branch manager also with Synergy One Lending. My office is called Team Home Loans, a branch Synergy One Lending. This is Jason Hall. And one of our the top loan officer in our office, Travis Sailing. Travis, how you doing?
Doing well, man. How you doing?
Good, man. You FaceTiming or something? What are you doing there?
I'm sending a snap.
Your Snapchat. What's a snap? You know.
Oh, my gosh.
I know.
We gotta help
I'm
you
not
out,
a millennial.
man.
Are you a millennial? You're a millennial?
Yeah.
You're right on the edge?
Technically, I think so.
Okay, you're a millennial. 1981 or previous, somewhere around there?
I don't know what the
it's like
actual.
81. Yeah, so you're in there. Were you born 82, 81?
84.
Okay, yeah, you're definitely millennial. So I think it's 81, right? Like Kyle whistled. So we talked about that. JJ and I are not millennials. My son JJ is, but
Right.
JJ on the show here and I are not. We're Generation X.
I wonder what the next generation will be called.
It's already out there. Paul could probably tell us. It's something. I've already heard the name.
Huh.
What's the generation of millennials?
I have no idea.
Oh, look that up, man. How do I know I know there's a name. I just can't remember.
Really let us down there, Paul.
Yeah, he's
really,
a sports oracle.
Really let us
ask
down.
about sports, he's there. But we were talking mortgages. We're talking what's going on with rates. Like you said, the wall is probably 5%. I'm not certain that most homeowners will accept a 5% rate in two ways. A, they don't like the number 5 when it starts getting there, when they saw everybody refinance or buy houses in the low 3s. And also the payment starts getting at a position for a lot of us. A 5% rate really makes a difference on a $400,000 or $500,000 house.
Absolutely.
I mean, you go from 3.5 to that. I mean, we're talking $400 or $500 a month. You know, that starts to go, ooh, probably not going to buy that house. And what we all know here in the business, in the real estate business, is real estate drives the overall United States economy. When real estate's doing well, all businesses follow. It's like high tide lifts all boats. When real estate's doing well, everything goes well.
So rates were really, really good. Who's the president?
When we printed $1 billion, and
who is the president?
And the government actually bought mortgage-backed securities for the first time ever, and bought Treasury bonds because
seems like a very smart decision
because they wanted to get rates low. Is that what you're saying? That guy?
Yeah, to stimulate that economy, the thing that you just were talking about when they do really, really well.
He didn't want the cards to fall under his administration.
No one wants the cards to fall.
I know, but sometimes you have to, when a bad deal happens, you got to just freaking you got to fold it. He didn't want to fold. So, he's printing more chips, printing more dollars, figuring out all his guys got together how to prop up our economy so that it wouldn't fold under his. But historically, Travis, things happen. Economies go up and down. Sometimes you have to let them fall. You have to pick them back up. You put the Band-Aids on them and you move on. Now, that's where a lot of people are concerned under a Trump administration, that Trump probably won't do what Obama and the left printed a lot more dollars, did a lot more stuff. He probably won't do that because he has filed corporate BK and said, oh, well, we're out. We're done. Right. So that's where some of us, even on the right, are like, who knows what this guy's going to tweet out. Right. Like, I mean, we're, as a Christian conservatives, I'm a big supporter of Israel. Right. And a lot of my Jewish friends. And, hearing Carrie yesterday morning speak, my wife was screaming. My wife's, studying to be a pastor. She was not happy with Carrie up there, basically belittling the Jewish people and like, oh, you should just get over it and, this and that. And these are wars these people have been fighting for thousands of years, the Palestinians and the Jews, over the land there in Israel. And he just wants them to be two states and thinks they can just like draw a line. Everything's going to be okay. But like between like the Hatfields and the McCoys, it's not going to happen. Right. like these people will go to on both sides will go to death to make their point. And so there's a lot of people concerned about what's going on over there. So I think, kind of get back to my point, Trump's going to help that a little bit better, but there's some stuff that he's going to tweet and do. And I think he already tweeted out he didn't like Kerry's speech. And so that's why we're into this, what's going to happen in the economy and how that's going to affect real estate. Now, I will tell you this, as a real estate investor, as somebody who owns a real estate mortgage company, am I glad to have a president-elect who is a real estate professional billionaire? Yeah. Do I think he's going to help the economy and probably put some better programs together, possibly not lowering rates, but possibly allowing people to get into homes, maybe some tax cuts, maybe some lower down payment programs, maybe for those that qualify under certain guides, right? I like that. I think real estate will still be a safe investment as long as rates don't go to 6, 7, 8%. If they get back to that at a fast churn, like they went from 3.5, say to 4.5, if they go from 4.5 to 6, all bets are off real estate. Agreed?
Well, the thing that we're seeing right now is tight inventory, right? I mean, we only have about a 2-month supply here in San Diego, very tight, and so here's the problem is that, let's say, Mr. Buyer, a buyer over here bought at a 4% rate, and a year from now their house is worth, quite a bit more. They want to sell it and get that next home. If the rates are 6%, the payment is so much higher because the home prices go up. Not a lot of people are buying lower price points a year or 2 or 3 or 5 years later. The houses have all gone up around them, and now the rate's higher, so they're kind of stuck in their existing property and they're not moving.
Yeah, they won't
and that's
move.
Something that I see is
creating more supply issues, is what you're saying.
It's exactly. It's just going to keep people from wanting to move to that next place.
Unless our minimum wage is $30 an hour and you can't afford, your house because you have to sell your business, right? Like we could talk minimum wage as a liberal over there. Here's something that people do talk about. You may or may not be aware of what Canada does. Canada allows you to take the mortgage with you. So you sell your house and you're at a 3.5% rate. Say you owe $300,000. You take your $300,000 to the next house. The same 3.5% mortgage. Yeah. How about that? It's crazy. So there's stuff out there, and it's interesting to see. Not that Canada is maybe the best thing for us to look at for most of stuff. I don't like some of the things they do, but that is interesting. As a mortgage professional, what do you feel about that? It's kind of weird. They literally get to just rewrite it's the same mortgage. They just literally roll the mortgage with it.
That's very interesting, actually. I mean,
yeah, Europe does some of the same stuff.
Yeah, Europe has some crazy things. I've read in France, they have such limited supply that what they'll do is a younger generation can try to find and someone that an elderly person and say, basically, I will make your mortgage payments until you pass away. But when you pass away, I would like to have ownership of the house. You can't take it with you. And that's actually kind of common over there. They have a stranger that it's kind of like a reverse mortgage almost, but with people instead of banks, and they basically pay. And the reason this came up was this person had been paying. He found this this old guy, and he's like, oh, this guy's probably going to croak soon. And the guy lived for an extra 25 years, and actually the couple paid his mortgage for 25 years. They died
before he did.
Wow. So they paid somebody else's mortgage for 25 years waiting for this guy's house and never left. I personally don't think I would do it because I would feel like, I'm a hitman after me. My brakes are going to get cut one day. Something like that. Like, I don't know if I want to give any incentive for me going away. So
that's classic.
But
classic stuff. So, all right. So I've got somebody looks like finally made it in on the call in.
Right on.
Somebody wanted to bring on. We'll introduce here. So we're getting ready to go in the new year. Some of the things you need to do. I know my neighbor's done it. I know Brian Scow, one of our loan officers on our team, has done it, and that is go solar. So on the air with us here and on the phone, Greg at Solar City. How you doing, Greg?
Good.
So how is the solar business? What do we need to know about 2017? What can you enlighten us?
2017 is very similar to 2016. It's the 30% tax credit is still there for the solar business, for solar customers, for people that go put residential solar on their house, and it basically saves you money on your electricity bill.
All right, so there's no big changes yet, right?
No.
What are some of the advantages that I know a lot of people took advantage of in 2015, 2016? I know you've been in the solar business a while now, and I know Solar City is the largest or one of the largest solar companies out there. I know you guys are Elon Musk is one of the owners in that. But tell us, what are some of the advantages about going solar? Like, what are you guys saving on average? What does it cost? What's your return? Some of the things on that, Greg, just to fill us in.
Good question. So SDG&E, the main advantage that why most of my customers choose to go solar is it saves them money. SDG&E is the second most expensive electricity company in the nation, right behind Hawaii.
Why is that? Why are we the most? Why are we the second? Why are we the most expensive in the continent?
Probably Obama's fault. Somehow.
Probably Governor Brown. Somebody on the left. They're Travis.
Oh, boy.
But, Greg, why do you think SDG is so more expensive? We can understand Hawaii is in Hawaii, right? But why San Diego?
Yeah, because they have to import all their energy and burn coal on site. Well, I think everybody knows the answer to that question already. San Diego is just an expensive place to live in general. It's a very desirable place to live in. SDG&E simply has a monopoly over the electricity available. So it is expensive because they can be.
All right, and that's probably why we have 300 solar companies here in San Diego?
That's exactly right. It's a very profitable place to be a solar company because there's a lot of savings to be had by residential solar customers.
All right, why Greg and why Solar City, Greg?
Great question. I'll tell you what most of my customers say. They choose Solar City is because we are an Elon Musk company. We've already been bought out by Tesla. We're going to be Tesla by name here sometime in 2017.
Nice.
Most people like to choose a company that's going to be around for the entirety of their term. So if you're signing up for a 20-year agreement, or if you're even purchasing a system with a warranty, the warranty is only as good as the company itself.
Exactly.
So what a lot of my customers tell me is they don't want to go with some fly-by-night company that's going to be out of business in 5 years and their warranty is gone.
All right, get ready to go to a break, Greg. Give me your number. What's your number? We can have people reach out to you if they're interested in solar for 2017.
My phone number is 619-952-4145. All
right, and if anybody missed that, you can hit us at AskJJNow.com. We'll have JJ get you Greg's number. Greg, Happy New Year. I appreciate you calling in. Appreciate you sending out that great information. I do really appreciate you. And I also know Elon Musk, the Tesla guy. Every now knows him. So that's a great company to work for. Yeah. We wish you the best 2017. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Greg. Hey, we're going to go to a break.
Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Thanks, Greg. We're going to go to a break, and we're going to get in some political stuff. Again, Travis is my lefty, Mr. Hall, the conservative. We're going to have some fun on this last segment, Travis, of 2016.
Let's go.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
AM 1170, The Answer.
Hey, San Diego, Craig Sewing here. One of the things I know very well is real estate. Inman News nominated me for most influential in the space, and I launched a nationwide network built on the timely truths of our real estate market. Look, one of the many relationships you're going to encounter when buying a home or refinancing is who handles the money, also known as the escrow company. When it comes to hundreds of thousands of dollars, or maybe even millions of dollars in a real estate transaction, you can't just use anyone. I trust Oakwood Escrow. These guys and gals are the best in the business, offering trustworthy service. Whether you're a consumer or in the real estate business, nobody gets it done better than Oakwood Escrow. That's who I'd use, and you should too. Visit them at oakwoodescrow.com. That's oakwoodescrow.com. Hey, Craig Sewing, host of the Craig Sewing Show, where I am committed to helping you win in any marketplace. We talk so much about politics and the financial markets and real estate, really important stuff. Much of it you can't control. Well, I want to give you a piece of advice today on something you can control. What if I told you I could help you make more money without earning another dime? I know it sounds crazy, but the reality is it's through your tax plan. So many people rely on CPAs to do their taxes for you. At the end of the year, you're going to see if you're getting money back, or if you owe money and you call that a tax plan. That is not a tax plan. That's just shuffling papers and seeing what happens. I got to introduce you to our good friend with Jennings Financial Group, Douglas Jennings. Doug Jennings can help you reduce your tax liability, do it legally, ethically, and get you well on your way. This is something that you can control. You can do it today. I highly encourage you, visit them online, JenningsFinancialSD.com. JenningsFinancialSD.com. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. Visit Doug online today, JenningsFinancialSD.com.
Your home should be a place that you love coming to. Hi, I'm Nikki Klug, interior designer, and there is nothing I enjoy more than helping San Diegans live in homes that they fall madly in love with. I've helped hundreds of homeowners experience a sense of luxury, rejuvenation, and inspiration in their everyday lives. If you need help creating a home that you love, please visit me online at nikkiklugdesign.com or call me at 619-948-7173.
AM 1170. The Answer.
Love it. So, Eye of the Tiger. Thank you, producer Paul. All right, our last segment here on the JJ Show. Again, filling in for JJ, our good friend at Synergy One Lending, Travis Selling, top loan officer at Team Home Loans, a branch of Synergy One Lending, and myself, Jason Hall, the branch manager there at Team Home Loans, a branch of Synergy One Lending. And we are sponsored by Craig's company, Craig Sewing. Many people remember Craig. He does the TV show, was on radio here for many, many years. And so the fun thing about you and I, Trav, is that I'm a very open Christian conservative. You're a very open liberal. Right. We always get the chance to talk politics. We talk it on the TV with Craig. We talk it on our radio shows.
I'm still trying to talk some sense into that guy, man.
You're never going to talk sense into Craig enough. But it's fun. So you were saying, hey, the rates are low because of Obama, because he printed all his dollars to save all the stuff and all this crazy stuff he's done.
Because of what he was left.
So now Trump's going to probably, have the worst
inherit
thing ever.
The best.
No, he's going to inherit
all
this debt, and we're going to have some issues. And people haven't realized some of the things are going to happen here in the future. And I don't know what they're going to be, but there's going to be some stuff that happens the next 4 years, possibly next 8 years if he runs another term or if he even wins. And you guys are all going to blame it on him for all the freaking problems you guys created. And that's what drives me crazy about the liberal. And your liberal media, you guys were
what are you talking about?
You were guaranteeing
Go back
Clinton
to George
Bush
when the stock market is shedding 800 points a day and people are losing jobs left and right, and they're going to...
Why did that happen? Why did that happen? Because the regulations we put in and allowed under the Clinton administration. Clinton allowed, he said, here's what he put in that you guys don't even realize, like 1996. You can't do a stated income loan just for self-employed people. That's discrimination. You're only helping the rich. You need to do stated income for everyone. Not the people who have $1 million in the bank, have a 740 credit score. You need to do it for the guy that got a job yesterday.
But even the 740 guy could default just as much as anybody else.
He could. But we should have left it stated. Stated income was really only for self-employed. And it still should be for self-employed. But now that Clinton allowed it for everyone because he didn't want to discriminate and just let the top 5% or 10% get this loan. He thought this was a great loan. He wanted it for everybody, him and his administration. Once you open anything for everybody, it was just a matter of time it was going to get abused, right? And that's just one example of, again, it was one of the regulations guidelines that they made a change. They thought they were doing best for the real estate economy. And we found out years later it was the worst thing they could have done. Now, what did Obama do this past 8 years that you guys are thinking right now, oh, this was great rates at 3%. This is great, that the government printed $10 billion with the highest debt we've ever had. What's going to happen the next 8 to 12 years as a result of what he's done? That I don't know the exact answer, but those are some of the concerns that I have. I know those are some of the concerns that the conservative right have.
I would be concerned of what would have happened if he had not done that. Keep in mind that,
like I said, we would have fell. We would have had a depression, recession right away, and we would have been out of it already. Like, you can't just avoid.
That's hard to say. That's just too.
You can't avoid every depression, recession. You can't.
Right.
You have to allow sometimes.
There are cycles.
Happen.
I get that.
There are cycles.
I get that.
We know there's another depression, recession is coming. We know that's 100% guaranteed it's going to happen. We just don't know when.
Right.
Right. And that's the key. But give me your liberal stuff. Recap 2016. What were you guys proud about on the left?
Oh, man.
Besides, the stock market's almost 20,000, and I'm sure Obama had something to do with that, you believe.
Well, and I know you don't ever believe this, but it's they've brought employment down to full employment as defined by the federal government.
Yeah, because everybody on the checks no longer freaking. There's so much. We have more people than ever in the history of the United States on a government check. So guess what? Those people, no longer apply.
But there's also more people too. Keep in mind, like our population is growing, so like using numbers like that is not a fair way to
percentage. No percentage.
Wages are going up.
I hear what you're saying. You're right. If we just said numbers, that's not fair because our population. But it's a higher percentage, and so unemployment does not count the people getting government checks because they no longer need to go to work, and that's the problem I have. I have a problem with if you're able to go to work, you should be going to work. The only people that should be on a government check are people in serious issues. You know what? They're blind. There's serious issues that there's nothing they can do, right? And sometimes it is a short-term fix for us that are physically able, but we're having a downtime. But it's not a 2-year, 5-year, 10-year, 20-year plan. I ran into a friend of mine, hadn't seen him in a couple of years, and I ran into him last night, and he's in his mid-50s. He's like, hey, Jason, hey, my wife finally got my paperwork all done. I go, what do you mean? He goes, oh, yeah, I'm in full retirement now. I'm getting my government check. I go, what are you, like 53? He goes, yeah, right around there. You know, my wife got her fully retired check when she was 51, and, you know, we paid somebody $5,000, and she was able to do all the paperwork and knew how to do it faster, and now you do it. There's attorneys out there, Travis, saying, hey, you want to be a liberal? You want to live on a check the rest of your life? I will do it for you. And we got to cut that.
And that's generating jobs. That guy's employed.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, the attorney's employed. I like that. That's a good point. The attorney is employed.
They're making jobs.
But he's now unemploying all these people who are no longer going to the unemployment line. So that's a big concern of mine. And I know that's why a lot of riots are happening. People don't want to go back to work.
What riots are you talking about? Where are these
had
riots?
A great year 2016 financially, right?
Yes.
Now, if you could have made that same amount of money and stayed home with your baby, you had a new daughter this year.
Yes.
All right. Call out for you and Brenda. Right.
Right.
Now, you would stay home.
Sure.
If you could make the same amount of money and not work, you'd stay home.
Sure. Absolutely.
So that's the problem. If any of us can or close to it after taxes, what's the incentive to go work? That's my concern with how the liberals are doing this. If everybody gets on the wagon, Travis, and nobody's pulling the wagon, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, I get that. I mean, you bring that up, you know, all the time. That's like your go-to.
You've heard it 100 times, like my Charger story.
But I don't think you know, I personally, I can't think of, you know, maybe it's because I'm a millennial and younger and stuff. I don't know anyone in that situation. You say these hypothetical, you know, in San Diego, I don't think, you know, with the prices and everything, there's not a lot of people here that are on the wagon and they can live off of the government in checks and like you're saying. There's
much more than you know, but I agree with you. There's probably not a lot of millennials, right? Because most of millennials, and I was talking to a guy yesterday about this, like 30% of millennials, single male millennials, still live at home. What's going on with that?
Well,
I know that's not you. You got out of the house pretty young age because you went away to school, met your wife. You guys, you know, got a place.
Right.
You've been a hard worker, and you've got great parents. Even though they're liberal parents, they're great parents. I have in-laws that are liberal. I love them to death. My father-in-law Joe's probably listening, giving me a hard time right now because he's on your side, even though he beat you in fantasy this week.
He got so lucky. I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah. All right. So, why are all the millennial single men staying at home?
Well,
because expenses are probably high.
Expenses are high, right? I mean, the home prices are up, which is great for anyone that owns a home, but people that are trying to buy a house, I mean, the home prices are higher. You need more money for a down payment. It's harder to save money when you live, you know, when you have an expense. And, you know, thankfully, like they are seeing, you know, wages increase for the first time in a long time. They were really stagnant for a long time with the economy not doing so well, but now that the economy is doing better,
hopefully they get out of the house. But now they set their budgets. They're driving nice cars. They've got credit card bills.
They have student loan debt that's
they have huge student loan debt. That's a huge problem
that they can't afford to.
And so it's interesting. So, you know, I think part of it is, you know, what you can be on your parents' freaking insurance to like 26, 27 years old. That's crazy. That's absolutely nuts. We need to get that back to normal. You're giving people incentive to stay home, not go out and generate. When I turned 18, I moved out of my house.
So did I.
I wanted to get out of my house as soon as I can. I was the oldest child. I wanted to start my own place. I mean, I made it on top ramen. I ate for like $28 a week. You know, I did what I had to do to make it. I worked hard. And it drives me crazy that there's many other people that don't want to do that. My parents had to get a government check when I was a kid. I've never had to get a government check. I don't want a government check. As long as I'm physically able to work, I'll even take care of my family. But I have family that's on government checks. I see stuff different. But we're wrapping up the show. That's part of our fun stuff. Travis Sailing, our liberal mortgage originator. If you need a liberal mortgage originator, Travis Sailing's your man.
Call me.
You can call him. Ask JJ now how to get you in touch with Travis. For the Christian conservative, that's Mr. Hall, Team Home Loans, Branch Energy One Lending. And, of course, the host of the show, JJ, the man. He's on vacation with his kids, and I know he's pretty conservative as well. So you guys have a great 2017. Paul, I hope you can make the party. Travis, I know you're going to be there.
I'll be there.
We're going to bring in the New Year's Day right at the bowling alley. For all those, happy Hanukkah, happy holidays. Enjoy your New Year.